back in like the Osbournes' heyday. I think it was summer of 2002. And I was at this club in Los Angeles, very much under the age of 21. But back then there was no, like TMZ wasn't really a thing. It wasn't like you could get away, and there was no camera phones. You could get away with fucking murder in LA back then, as a lot of people did. Literally. Okay. So I'm out at this club, and the way this club was massive, this place was like, it was colossal big. And there was a dance floor with a balcony that went all the way around it. And I was sat up on the balcony with my friend Kimberly, and we're at this table, and everyone, it's just Sodom and Gomorrah. Like everyone is just heathenously drunk and crazy in this place. It was DJ AM was DJing that night. It was when he was, alive and a beautiful, wonderful human being, like just the king of LA anything back then. And I'm up there, and all of a sudden this glass, I'm sat there, comes whizzing over from the dance floor, like up onto the balcony, and smashes into the wall a foot away from mine and my friend Kimberly's face. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I go looking over to the balcony, and there's a guy stood at the bottom, like in the middle of the dance floor, looking up, like to see who looked over me, and starts just going like, fuck you, you're a fucking, and like going crazy. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I like lean over, I'm like, fuck you. And I had there was some ice from the bucket, and I threw the ice at him. So this guy from, when I'm 30 feet above him on the balcony, I look down, I'm like, all right, just a guy. I see him go running the stairs, and this guy is getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Oh, he's out of steps, but he's still getting bigger. What's happening?
And I'm like, what the fuck? And I see him, and my friend Kimberly had this friend named Ross, and I'm like, I go to her, and she's fucking wasted. Her eyes are rolling around her head. She's so drunk. And I'm like, Kim, where the fuck is Ross? Because Ross was a bit of a fighter, and he rolled in a pretty ominous crew. And she's like, I don't know. This guy Ross was in he was like in a table behind me, and he heard me yelling, where's Ross? The guy that threw on this glass was probably a black gentleman, 6'5", very, very large, could have easily mopped the floor with my drunk 16-year-old, fat Afro ass. And he comes running up, and he grabs me. Ross somehow in his drunken, party face, somehow heard me saying, where the fuck is Ross, from like behind me. I just out of the corner of my eye see this guy Ross running on the tables, grabs the guy, and proceeds to just lay waste to this gentleman's face as they're falling to the ground. The entire nightclub erupts in like a saloon style brawl. There's tables and glasses. Like my friend Alex jumps in, he gets his nose broken, and it's just absolute chaos.
It's just all around you, no one's
all
touching
around
you.
me. I'm like trying to stop my friend Kim from fighting. It was like a Wild West brawl. It ends up like 10 of us get like thrown out from all the security. We're out on the street, and then the guys that were fighting realize that now that they're all outside together, they then continue to fight again. It was just fucking pandemonium. And that was a wild one. I'm like, I somehow managed to get away unscathed. My friend Alex got a broken nose. I think Kim lost a shoe, and Ross saved the day.
Are you still friends with Ross today?
No, I'm good friends with one of his good friends. He's my jiu-jitsu instructor. And I'm very good friends with Kimberly and Alex still. We've all since grown up immensely because we all have kids now, and but yeah, that was a classic story back then.
Crazy. Wow. How did it finally fizzle out? Did everyone just get tired?
Everyone just got manhandled by like 20 giant bouncers and thrown into the street. And then and then we all promptly were like, quick, get in a cab. Let's get the fuck out of here because the cops are coming.